Welcome to Mike's Mr. October and More. So, this is my newest Reggie Jackson acquisition to my PC, and that is the 1971 Topps Super. So, believe it or not, I did not have this card, and I love it. And as you know, it's substantially larger than a regular size card. And here's the back side. Has I think it's tape or something on the back. I didn't see that initially, but that's okay. It's like, how often do we look at the back anyways? But the front surface and the corners are just beautiful. I got to show you the 1970 Topps Super Reggie Jackson. Photo taken at the old original Yankee Stadium. So here's both of them, and I'll show you the back. Just like your typical 1970 Topps card. And 10 runs in one game. We drove in on June 14th, 69. My birthday is June 15th. And at that time, we lived in Fort Riley, Kansas in 1969. But anyway, here's the two Topps Supers, 70 and 71 of Reginald Martinez Jackson, aka Mr. October. So anyways, if you've been watching the past two videos, I've been doing autographs that I obtained from players back in the 90s of the 1953 Topps reprint set. So I got to show you some more autographs. Actually, I got to do one more series because I had over 40 cards still autographed. So I didn't want to show all of them in one and have you bored or fall asleep or something. I'm going on a coffee break. But anyway, I'm going to start showing you the cards. But I just wanted to head on back to one player, Gene Stevens. I showed him in the previous episode, but I failed to mention one thing, which is truly unbelievable. On June 18th, 1953, he got, get this, 3 base hits in one inning. Like, how often does that happen? You get 27 players or more in one inning. That record stood for quite a few years until, if I'm not mistaken, Johnny Damon equaled that. Got 3 base hits in an inning. I'm not sure when Johnny Damon did that if he was a Yankee or a Boston Red Sox. But anyway, here we are. So that's my introduction for the set. So I got to take these cards down to Reggie. Hey, Reggie, Mr. October. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, so my first player I'm going to be showing is Bob Keegan. And he played for the Chicago White Sox, and he is a World War II Army vet. I'll place his card there. And he's a one-time All-Star. When he was an All-Star in '54, he was 16-9. And by the way, when he was in the Army, it was the Air Corps, he flew B-24s. And he threw the only no-hitter in 1957 against the Washington Senators. Bob Keegan. I don't think you'll ever see this emblem again for the White Sox. Next one is going to be Sibby Sisti. I'm sure some of you players, right? Car collectors heard of Sibby Sisti. But anyway, here's the back side of the card just to show you. Okay. He is also a World War II vet. And Sibby came up in 1939 as, get this is a team you don't hear of very often, as a Boston Bee. Okay. And he also, if you watch the movie The Natural, I never seen the movie, but he played a small part in the movie The Natural, Sibby Sisti of the Boston Braves, and you'll never see this emblem anymore. I don't have to tell you the reason why, but you can read between the lines. Next one is going to be Bob Oldis, And Bob, believe it or not, he is still alive, and he was born, let's see, 1930. So Bob is getting up there in age, but that's great. Yeah, he was born. He hit one home run, and he was in the 1960 World Series, and he was an original coach of the Montreal Expos expansion team. Next one is going to be Billy Hunter of the St. Louis Browns with the logo of Martian Boy. Always get a kick out of that. And he's a one-time All-Star, and he was in one World Series. And Billy Hunter is still around. So we got two players that are still around. And he was a manager for the Texas Rangers in 1977. Next one is going to be Tony Barterome of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And he, believe it or not, he was signed by Hall of Famer Pie Traynor at the age of 19, and he is an Army vet. Okay. Next one, excuse me, is Mike Sandlot. And he hit 2 career home runs. And at the time when he passed away, he was 100. And he's a World War II vet. And he was a roommate with a Hall of Famer, Warren Spahn, at the beginning of his career. Imagine having Warren Spahn as your roommate. Next one, Ferris Fane. 5-time All-Star, won 2 batting titles, and he's a World War II vet. Thank you, Ferris. And he led the league in base doubles in 1952. Let's see, I got to take these, bring them over here. Next one is Joe Asroth. Please forgive me, Joe. He's a World War II vet also. And on September 23rd, 1950, he drove in 6 runs in an inning with a grand slam and a 2-run single. That doesn't happen very often. Next one is Milt Bowling. Put that card there. And he played infield with his younger brother, Frank, on the Tigers in 1958. And Milt died on the same day, get this, as 2 Hall of Famers, Stan Musial and Earl Weaver. And that's Milt Bowling. Next one is going to be Toby Atwell of the Chicago Cubbies. Okay. Now Toby, he was a one-time All-Star, a World War II vet, Army Air Corps. And in 1954, Toby and Jerry Lynch hit back-to-back home runs twice in the same game. And that was not duplicated until 2014 by the Pittsburgh Pirates. A lot of people won't recognize this player from the Fighting Phillies, Kurt Simmons. Love that signature. Nice and big and flowing. He was a 3-time All-Star. Also World Series. He won 193 games. He is also a vet. He was 18 years old when he went into the majors, and he actually personally knew Babe Ruth. He was coached by Babe Ruth. He was like on an all-star team, and Babe Ruth was the manager, believe it or not. Okay. Next one is George Spencer. New York Giants. He was in the 51 World Series against the New York Yankees. Of course, they lost. Okay, and next one is going to be Jim Friedley. And as you can tell, he wore uniform number 31 for the Cleveland Indians. So when he signed it for me, put his uniform number on. Well, actually, I asked him, and he did that. He's also a World War II vet, Army. And believe it or not, his first base hit was a home run on opening day 1952 as a rookie. And also, he was the first in Major League Baseball history to go 6 for 6, which is pretty amazing. Next one is going to be Ben Wade of the Brooklyn Dodgers. And he had a brother by the name of Jake. And he pitched in games 1 and 5 of the 52 World Series. Next autograph I got is number 24, Bob Borkowski of the Cincinnati Reds. So if you've been following me, I got a lot of autographs from former Cincinnati Red players. And he was involved in a bizarre play versus the Braves on September 22nd, 1954. He was involved with a wild pitch when he struck out and it went to the back plate, and it was a big fiasco. So if you want to, you can read into it. Anyway, next one is going to be Johnny Klipstein of the Chicago Cubs. He was in 1 World Series. He won 101 games, believe it or not. And he was in Major League Baseball for 18 seasons. And he was the 1960 AL saves leader. And he is also a vet. Next one, Jim Greengrass. Another Cincinnati Red. There you go. And as you can tell, he wore number 23. Get this, he had a great season in 1953. He had 20 home runs and even 100 RBIs. Following year, 27 home runs and 95 RBIs. He's also a vet. And his first hit in the Major League Baseball hit was a grand slam. And matter of fact, just going back, 1954 on opening day, he had 4 doubles in 1 game, which is tied for a Major League record. Next one is John O'Brien. And some of you may recognize the name. As you can see, he wore number 6. And he's a vet, and he's in that famous photo with his brother, Ed, where the 2 brothers are kneeling in the baseball card. I think that's a 54 Topps card. And I got to show you him in a moment. Next, another Pittsburgh Pirate, Bob Del Greco. And he was 19 years old when he broke into the majors. Next one is Ray Murray, World War II vet, Army Air Corps. Take him down. Next one is going to be Ed O'Brien, the brother to John, and that famous 54 Topps card. There you go. The O'Brien brothers. Okay, and they were the first twins to play in the same game and the same team. And he was, believe it or not, he was a bullpen coach for the Seattle Pilots. And he was quite the basketball player, drafted in the NBA in 1953. As a matter of fact, he played in a college game against the Harlem Globetrotters. And I got to show you my last card for today, and that is the youngest Major League player to ever play, Joe Nuxhall. There you go, Cincinnati Red. Two-time All-Star. 7 times he won 10 games or more. Actually, he won 135 games. Now, talking about the youngest player, June 10th, 1944, he was the youngest player at the age of 15. And I don't know if Shannon knows this. I know he's a big Cincinnati Reds fan. But Joe holds the record for most appearances as a lefty of 484 games. Still holds that record. Pretty amazing. So anyway, I know this is getting a little long, but I just want to thank you all for watching my episode. Give me a thumbs up, any comments. And again, thanks for watching Mike's Mr. October and more.